Super Mario 64 didn't just change gaming, it gave us moments we'll never forget. Moments that scared us, moments that made us smile, and moments we're still talking about 30 years later. These are the 33 most iconic moments from Super Mario 64.
Hello!
Playing around with Mario's face on the title screen, it's completely pointless, but somehow I spent way too much time doing it. It even inspired Facelift in Mario Party, one of the most creative minigames in the series. The iconic intro repeats Letter and Lakitu flying over the castle. A free cake at a castle, count me in. And when Lakitu shows up with a camera crew, you know this is going to be more than just a tea party. Bowser's eerie laugh echoing through the castle. As a kid, I thought I was actually supposed to leave the castle when Bowser told me, "No one's home, now get lost." To be fair, I still have trust issues. Jumping into a painting for the very first time. One moment, you're standing inside Peach's castle. The next, you're diving headfirst into an entirely different world. It feels like stepping into Narnia or Hogwarts. Anything can happen. King Bobump is the first of many epic battles on your journey. I remember playing Mario 64 with my dad on Christmas Eve right after getting a Nintendo 64. Years later, most of my memories had faded, but somehow I still remembered King Bobump standing on top of that mountain. Each time you get a star is a magical moment, but the first one is something truly special. The way it appears, spinning and shining in the distance, that sound when it finally emerges, the jingle, the little dance, and the feeling that anything is possible. There is something satisfying about beating Koopa in a race. Unfortunately, victory is short-lived. You still have to wait for him to slowly make the way to the finish line. Or you can steal his shell and leave him standing there in his underwear while you surf away. So long, Koopa. The chain jump is terrifying. Honestly, it might be scarier than Bowser. One bite and you're done. Freeing it might hurt your butt, but it feels like the ending of a Free Willy movie. You feel like you saved the world, and somehow you saved yourself too. Blasting Mario out of cannons is always fun and frustrating. The pink Bobumps are your friends, opening the cannons so you can launch yourself across the map, or straight into death. Seriously, why is aiming those cannons so hard? Is it just me? After getting older, I almost feel sorry for Womp and his back. Then again, I guess he had it coming. He's always been kind of a jerk. In Mario Party, you literally pay him to stand in the way. The slide levels felt like a roller coaster, with a shortcut straight to death. The shortcut in Cool Mountain, the annoying penguin, the slide with 2 stars, and the mountain slide that suddenly changed direction out of nowhere. Somehow they were all amazing, and I still smile every time I hear the music. That penguin mission, everyone messed up. When I was a kid, I just wanted the star. As a dad with a 2-year-old, I'm more concerned about the parenting. Seriously, who leaves their baby on top of a mountain? Nintendo might be associated with kids, but the eel in Jolly Roger Bay still haunts my dreams. The eel terrified me when I was 6, now I'm 34, and I'm still afraid of it. Honestly, I would never enter a shipwreck because of that thing. Stepping into the light and unlocking the wing cap, I still remember seeing that beam of light, looking up and wondering what it was. Had God come to take me away? Then you start flying and immediately crash into a wall. Turns out the wing cap and the cape feather have more in common than you think. They are both awesome and they are both trying to kill you. Throwing Bowser into a bomb is such a unique boss mechanic. For the first time, it feels like you're taking on a real villain. And when Bowser finally falls, you receive the giant key to the basement. Suddenly, the castle feels bigger, the adventure feels bigger, and you can't wait to see what's behind the next door. Big Boo's haunt feels different from every other course in the game. You don't even enter through a painting. You ground pound a Boo and get dragged into a haunted cage. Suddenly, you're in one of the creepiest places in Mario 64. Finding the secret wall jump and defeating Big Boo might be a challenge, but climbing onto the roof with the camera from hell was a real nightmare. The whole game you think Bowser is the villain, until you realize Lakitu and his camera have been the real enemy all along. Jumping into a dark pool of liquid metal is weird enough. Then you ride a swimming dinosaur and discover the metal cap inside yet another dark pool. At that point, you just stop asking questions. Walking around at the bottom of the ocean might be cool, but let's be honest, the best thing about the metal cap was the epic soundtrack. Chasing the rabbit Meeps through the basement can be frustrating, but it's unforgettable, and somehow you have to do it twice. Fun fact, Meeps was named after the CPU inside the Nintendo 64. Nobody puts Mario in a corner. Pushing the bullies into lava or freezing water and hearing that satisfying sound effect was priceless. It sounded like a shotgun going off. And it taught every bully an important lesson. Don't mess with Mario. There is something mysterious about shifting Sandland. The vulture, the quicksand, and the giant red pillars that somehow defy gravity. But entering the pyramid from the very top and discovering the giant hands waiting inside to knock you into the abyss was pure Indiana Jones. Draining the moat unlocked the secret Vanish Cap level. Walking through walls was awesome, but I always felt a little sad seeing the moat drained. It made Peach's castle feel strangely incomplete. After all these years, I still think Nintendo owed us a unique soundtrack for the Vanish Cap. While the water levels in Mario 64 aren't the most exciting, the Dire Dire Dog soundtrack might be more memorable than anything else in the entire game. The moment it starts playing, everything slows down. This soundtrack doesn't just get stuck in your head, it goes straight to your soul and stays there. I never really understood how you find Bowser's submarine in a water level only to fight him in a sea of lava. This time he teleports and the entire arena starts tilting beneath your feet. The next key unlocks the upper floors of the castle. The cake is getting closer. In Snowman's Land, you are literally blown away. Mario's hat goes flying, revealing a haircut that should have stayed hidden. Luckily, you can shelter behind the friendly penguin, and then there's the tiny igloo that turns out to be enormous inside, like a tent from Harry Potter. A cool highlight, pun intended. Raising the water, lowering the water, and realizing that your jump into the painting controls everything. Wet dry world feels strange, almost unsettling. Then you discover the hidden city beneath the water, a place that feels like Atlantis. Somehow Nintendo managed to sneak the water temple into Mario 64. Tall Mountain seems like a cozy place, then you meet the monkey. Its only goal in life is to steal your cap and ruin your day. Losing your cap doesn't affect Mario's abilities, but Mario's haircut is punishment enough. Like the beeping in Zelda when you're low on hearts. Nothing is wrong, but you desperately want it to stop. Tiny Huge Island turns everything upside down. You're exploring a world where everything is either gigantic or tiny. Then you flood the mountain and accidentally make Wiggler angry. When he starts charging at you, you immediately regret every decision that brought you to this moment. Tick-tock clock. At first it feels impossible, gears turning, platforms moving, death waiting below. Then you realize time changes everything, and suddenly one of the hardest levels in Mario 64 becomes one of the smartest. Riding the magic carpet, floating high above the castle, one wrong move, one missed jump, and it's a very long way down. Somehow it was both magical and terrifying. Let's just say I'm not jealous of Aladdin anymore. The endless staircase that just won't let you pass. As a kid, it took me far too long to realize I simply didn't have enough stars. Sometimes, when I lie awake at night, I still feel stupid. Beating Bowser. That organ music still gives me chills. This time, one bomb isn't enough. You have to throw Bowser into all three of them to finally bring him down. One final throw, one final star. Then Mario soars through the sky, escaping the collapsing arena as Bowser disappears into the darkness below. The adventure is over, and after everything you've been through, Peach actually gives you that cake.
Thank you so much for playing my game.
Reaching 120 stars and meeting Yoshi on the roof. From the age of 8 to 18, I thought I had done everything there was to do in Mario 64. I had 119 stars and spent nearly a decade wondering, how do you open the cannon outside the castle? Then, after what felt like a lifetime, the internet showed me the one star I had somehow missed all those years. And just like that, the cannon opened. For the first time, I blasted myself onto the castle roof and finally reunited with my green companion. The perfect ending to one of the greatest games of all time. Those were my favorite moments from Super Mario 64, but I'm sure I missed a few. What were your favorite moments? Please let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching. This is Alexander's Playroom. If you enjoyed the video, consider like and subscribe, and if you want more iconic moments, check out this video right here.